I woke up this morning just in time, and as I turn on my laptop and see the message popped up on Facebook. You're invited to view the to watch the cabinet press briefing by the Andrew Holness led administration. And I give a shout out to the Minister of National of Education and to MP Pernell Charles and to yourself, Mr. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, but mostly to you, sir, because you are the leader. You are the lead administrator, public administrator in Jamaica right now. Your press briefing was more or less addressed to NARA and the processes, some of the pros. You gave us a synopsis, because it wasn't long, but just a brief synopsis of what it went through to become law and all of that, and the team you have put in place to oversee the operations of NARA, and especially the oversight committee you talked about. That oversight committee you talked about to ensure that things are getting done on time, within cost, and all of that. Absolutely amazing, Mr. Prime Minister. And the appointment of Mr. Anthony Anderson, ex-commissioner of police, is also an amazing thing you did, because I think he will do very well in that position. Not as the chief executive officer, as you say, but as the chief execution officer. His job is to make sure to stay on top of things and that things are done and get done in time and on time within budget. You point out something there clearly, which is very clearly in contrast to what you're trying to achieve, that there's not a culture of getting things done on time in Jamaica. There's not a time for that. There's not a culture of that. And that you're trying to change as you go along. Absolutely great projection, sir, because Jamaicans, they are doubtful of politics. And once something takes a little bit too long to get, then we start to cry about robbery and trickery and ripping off and all of these things. So I must laud you on that, Mr. Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen listening to this video, if you get this far, I'm going to ask you to like and share this video. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to it. And leave your comment, click the notification bell for the next video drop in. We need it, because we need to be a part of this whole watch what they do, as we are doing right now. I want to also point out that I'm not here for JLP, but neither am I here for PMP. But I have to clearly take my hat off to the Prime Minister and his administration this morning for the format of that cabinet press briefing. When I saw the message on Facebook, I was heartened. I was happy to jump on board, Mr. Prime Minister, and listen and watch what is happening, what is being said. So much so that what the introduction given by the moderator of the program, Dana, I don't remember, but I know she's the Minister of Education, and Pernell Charles. And Pernell Charles, one of the contributors yourself. To be honest, I was so happy and elated to see this format. I actually missed a lot of what you guys said. Both yourself and Pernell, and yourself and Pernell, not so much the Minister of Education, because she was just the moderator. And I say that I was happy and heartened, and I actually missed a lot of what you guys said because of this reason, sir. And I go back to two videos I did earlier on this platform. One, transparency in government transparency, really. And two, how can technology help the government of Jamaica to be transparent, or to become a better government? Those two videos. So the technology you used here, Facebook, and the format of this cabinet press briefing, sir, is clearly for me, which I think is a point most people and most commentators, supporters and detractors alike, have missed. This, for me, sir, is the right step you have taken to move in the direction to indicate to the nation that the JLP administration is now taking the necessary step and doing the necessary things to become more transparent with the people of Jamaica and Jamaicans in the diaspora. Now, this is what stands out for me. Because all what is said, even what Mr. Charles said, I've heard it before. He said it before. So I was so focused on the transparency of this, because to look in the mic, in the camera, and to speak to thousands of Jamaica, if not millions, inside and outside of Jamaica, that level of transparency and that move to be so transparent, Mr. Prime Minister, is absolutely uplifting for me. Building, it creates trust for me. Now let me start to rethink my trust level and my respect level. And so it is with Jamaicans across. And this should happen right across the political spectrum, both PMP supporters and JLP supporters. And I hope the PMP, under the leadership of Margolin, which I know they are, because Margolin is also a brilliant man, I hope they are listening and watching and knowing that these kinds of moves are what Jamaicans are crying out for. I even went on to suggest in an earlier video that if the government could find the resources to create a platform through digital or flow, or split that platform with digital and flow. When you have some quick messages, you shoot messages out there to people on their phone asking for a quick response. This will be taken down within 2 days or so. Just ask people to give a quick response. What do they think? And get feedback from the nation. But I'm delighted to see you, sir, speaking to people. You understand? And not on the cover of Parliament where anything can be said you can't be. But when you speak to people this way, in a broader, more inclusive way, where a lot more people can tune in to what the Prime Minister is saying, I beseech you, I begging you, sir, please continue this transparent format. It builds trust with Jamaican people, it builds confidence, it shows honesty, it shows respect, accountability, responsibility, and everything that the Jamaican people are crying out for from their government. Not just from you, from the JLP, but from also the PMP. Because if the PMP was in power, I'm quite sure people would be crying just the same. And I'm glad you did this, Mr. Prime Minister, because it warms my heart in the sense that everything that happens in Jamaica now, notice, it is not the JLP they talk about, or Colonel Charles, or Minister of National Security, or the Minister of Education. They talk about Andrew Holness. You're everything because you're the leader. So it is for you to steer the ship or turn things around if it's going bad. And I laud you for this presentation this morning. Also, I must also take my cap off to you, sir, for condemning the killing of the lady out in Granville, Buju or Latoya Bulgin, whatever her name is. Because killing is not really, some people take killing as it's normal. You know, some people believe killing is just a normal thing and all of that, but it's not normal until it's normal for a lot of us. But when it hits your door, that's when a lot of people recognize and will realize that it's not a killing. I'm not saying you're condemning the police. I'm not saying you are condemning Buju, but to say that the killing itself you condemned, I stand in support to you with that because I remember my mother died that Sunday morning in my hands. My mother died in my hands. And that's something that tore me up for the next 5 years. It took me 5 years to get over that. So killing is not, and death is not something that is welcomed amongst us that easily. So I'm saying that, sir, because that's a good sentiment to exhibit and a good sentimental message to send to the community of Jamaica that we don't condone killings and we should not condone killings and rejoice. There are some people who rejoice at their death, you understand? But even when they die, there's nothing to rejoice about. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope for all those who saw that cabinet press briefing this morning, you recognize, like I did, the maybe even the government does not did not recognize it, but I can't say they didn't. But I know it's a great step to indicate to the country that listen, we are moving forward. We campaign on performance, we campaign on transparency, and we are performing right in your face. So you can comment, critique, or you can turn your eyes and look the other way if you care to. But we are doing it to your face. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to watch out, to create a better understanding for each other, to watch what our politicians do and what they say. This is a watch what they do at Lenny Robbins YouTube channel, at Lenny Robbins 92 YouTube channel. It is important. Let us give the Prime Minister, the government, or the President, the government itself, when they perform, let's give them their props. When they don't, we must not be afraid to critique them. And I've said this over and over. There's no point in me supporting JLP if I can critique them. There's no point in me supporting PMP if I can critique them. Because the other thing, for me, my vote is an investment. My vote is an investment. And if I cannot get ROI on my investment, there's no point in voting. There's no point. And if I vote and I'm not getting back an investment, then I must critique the party that I voted for. Ladies and gentlemen, blessed love to all Jamaicans and women in the diaspora. And let us really, really seek to point out to the Prime Minister and force him to continue this kind of transparent format of talking to people and addressing issues with the country. And to continue to be a hardened listener to the cry of the people. Because you need to bring the people closer to you, Mr. Prime Minister. You can do it. You can do it. You're the leader. Jamaica needs good quality leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, blessed love to all Jamaicans wherever you are. And thank you once again for listening to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, and before I go, if you're not yet subscribed, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the channel if you think you recognize this as a very transparent move on the government. Leave your comment as to what they talked about. I've taped it so I can go back over all that they have said earlier. But while listening, I wasn't, actually focusing too much on what they're saying. Especially Purnell for himself. And the Prime Minister was very brief in the issue. It wasn't long. So, share this channel, send it to your friend, pass it on down the line. Click the notification bell, give it a like. Please click that like button. Please click that like button. Please click that like button. And for those who haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We want to grow this and grow it with you. Because like I said, we have to come together to create this better understanding for each other. Because I alone can't watch what the politicians all do. But together, there's strength in numbers and all of us can come together to watch what they do. We need a better quality of life. Jamaica, over and out. Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Blessed love.